Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Rating Your Saves. And before we get into this one, I'm sure you guys will love it. Make sure that you are hitting that like, comment, and subscribe. And like I always say, this does push me out to the algorithm and show me to more people. I do appreciate the support. Also, do not forget to join the Discord and make sure you're joining the Patreon as well. All links for the social media accounts are in the description, so make sure you are checking those out and following them right now. And do not forget, if you want to send over your save for Rating Your Saves, make sure you join the Muller Gang Discord in the description. Then you want to scroll down to Rating Your Saves and drop your save along with your paragraph explaining what your save is about, man. But let's stop wasting time and let's get straight into the first save. And for the first save, we have Snowman with Tabby FK, and he says, I started with my local team in the Swedish 3rd division, and the main aim is to take them to Champions League glory. Both the economics, not much money in the league, and having at least 9 homegrown players in the team sheet have been a struggle. Flipping neck, bro. Anyways, let's get straight into it. We go straight to his job history and have a butchers, and we can see he has won the Swedish Prem 3 years in a row, and in terms of before that, it's just loads of cups and loads of managers of the months. He's won the Swedish Premier Division 4 times, so very decent. Nothing done in Europe as of yet. And in terms of the Champions League, he did manage to get Tabby to the semi-final last season, so he is developing very, very well. And then we move straight over into his squad, and we can have a look at his squad straight away. We're seeing loads of young players. I'm seeing 21-year-olds across the whole team. The average age of this team must be very, very young. Even on the bench, we're seeing 128, 127. The rest of them are below the age of 23. 30-year-old there and a couple 30s on the bench. But loads of young players. So we know already he is focusing on the young players. And we can see his striker is a 5-star rated striker as well. Let's have a look and see how much he paid for him. 84k, doing very, very well to pick up cheap bargains. He looks like a very, very good player. Wanted by 15 clubs.
What?
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Wanted by 15 clubs with a 95 million transfer value. Looks like a very, very good striker. And we'll have a look at his left wing and we can see almost the same thing again. How much did he pick him up for? 66 million. So he has spent a lot on this guy here. His number 10, he did pick him up on a free from Germany. Centre midfielder, he did pick him up for 1.3 million. Machadou for 1.3 million. Like I'm saying, we can see that he is already focusing on bringing in young players without even looking at his development centre. Let's shoot straight into the development centre, go straight to the under-19s, and we're seeing loads of 5-star potential players. Again, 4.5 stars. In terms of the reserves, let's see what's going on there. A few players in there, players out on loan, and he's got more players out on loan over here as well, man. So he is doing quite well in terms of bringing in young players and trying to get them into the first team. Another 19-year-old he picked up for 500k. 20-year-old he picked up for 1.4 million. 1.8. Loads of cheap bargains I'm seeing from Snowman. So props to him on that. Now we move into his transfers and see exactly how he has been spending. Let's go straight back to the first season. So back to the first season, 2022. I think the league split is kind of weird. So there's nothing in the 2022 year. The next year though, you can see he spent £0, loads of free transfers and loans. Brought in 1.9k. Season after that, spent 2.5. Sold players worth 21.5k. Season after that, spent 400k. Only sold 11k. Season after that, spent 28k. Brought in 62k. Now we should be getting towards the millions. 275k spent. Brought in 2.2 million. Then he spent 1.9, sold players worth 3.9, and then spent 14.5 million and brought in 82 million. W over there. Season after that, spent 96 million, brought back in 49.5 million. Next season spent, well, this current season, spent 174 million and brought back in 165 million from transfers. And in terms of the transfer net spend, Snowman has a positive net spend of £18 million. So well done for you, especially in the league you're in. You're even making more money than you are spending. And in terms of his staff, he has the best staff in the league that you would expect. Obviously, he's in the Champions League. round after round. So yeah, you would expect him to be spending a lot of money on the staffing, coaching, and the medical team and whatnot. And now for Snowman's ratings. And for save creativity, I'm going to give him a 5. I mean, you started in the 5th tier of Sweden and you're trying to win the Champions League with a Swedish team. Especially that Sweden, you need to have 9 homegrown players in your team sheet. That is absolutely crazy. So W. In terms of the managerial success, I'm going to give you a 3. You are dominating the Swedish league. However, obviously, you're trying to get to the Champions League. Once you win a Champions League or a few, then definitely we'll be getting a 5. For the squad, I would have to give you a 5. We can see your starting 11 is very, very good. Much better than I would have expected. And you're bringing in loads of young players. And finally, for the club management, I'll have to give you a 5. You've got a positive net spend somehow. I don't know. And your staff are top notch. So props to you, man. You've done very, very well with this save. All you got to do is win the Champions League. And for the net save, we have Cool Man Ronald 16 with a Valencia save. And he simply said, I'm quite new to FM, but I started a save at Valencia to try and get them another Champions League final and finally win it. I think it's been going well. Now let's move straight over into his job history. And as we can see, I mean, it has been going bloody well, mate.
Jesus Christ.
And we can see just loads of cups and obviously the Liga as well. And then this season here, we see he finally won the Champions League, so well done. Season after that, won the domestic treble. Season after that, won the domestic treble and the Champions League quadruple. And then the season straight after that, done the same thing again. So props to you. You are doing absolutely great, bro. Like you said, it is going well. And we move straight into his squad and have a look at this team. This team looks absolutely nasty. I see Moises Caicedo in there. Livramento in there. Hickey in there. Flipping Vitor Roque in there. Bro, loads of young players and wonder kids in the team. And in terms of the young players, we can see a few young players in there. 21-year-old from Slovenia. He picked him up for 2.2 million, so that's not bad. Another Spanish one he picked up for 1.9 million. Very well done there. 21 years old over here, picked him up for 2.2. So he is picking up young players, as we can see. Looks very decent. 15 million spent over here from the Brazilian kid. Another one, 22 years old, picked him up from the youth intake, actually. Samuel picked him up from the youth intake as well. So decent youth intake, actually getting players that are going to stay in this team as well. And this guy, 3.6 million, but he doesn't look too great, if I'm being honest. I'll probably just sell him and flip him and get the profit now, personally.
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money!
And we go straight to the development center, and nothing standing out so far. But let's have a look in the actual Valencia B team. We've seen one player here, 20-year-old winger. He picked him up from Brazil. Did he buy him? He bought him for 8.5 million. Looks all right. Looks good. He looks good, actually. At 20 years old, you could probably might not develop the greatest, but it doesn't look too bad. Check the under-19s. We're going to have to go into it because he's actually in control of the under-19s. I mean, he probably is focusing on them. We can see 2 wonder kids here straight off the bat. How much did he pay for them? I mean, he got him from the youth intake. And then we go check the other guy quickly. And he is Serbian. He paid 7 million for him. So you can see he is picking up some young players. His under-19s team looks pretty decent. And we go straight to his transfers. We're going to go all the way back to the first season. In the first season, he spent 3 million, brought in 9.5 million. Season after that, spent 10.25, brought in 4.6. Season after that, spent 52, brought back in 37.5. Next season, brought in 6 million, but spent 69 million. Season after that, spent 66 and brought in 25.5. Next season, spent 114, bringing in 67 million. Next season, spent 146, but brought back in 135. And then spent 140, but only brought in 16.5. Season after that, spent 53, brought in 124, so probably balanced it there. And then this season, he spent 110 million. He spent 104 on one player. And then we can see he obviously brought in 7.75. Let me have a look at this guy and look what he's looking like. 104 million. Was it worth it? Let me know what you lot think. And in terms of Calm Man Ronald's transfer net spend, he has a negative net spend of 294 million.
Damn!
Yikes. I can't lie though. He's been in Champions Leagues, but minus 294 is insane, bro. And finally, at his staff, you would expect his staff to be the best in the league, especially after winning the league how many times in Champions League. So done very, very well there. And finally, for Carman Ronald's save ratings, first up for save creativity, I'm going to give him a 2 because Valencia's in the top division. I don't think it's that hard. I mean, it's a decent team to start off with for your first save, so props to you, but could have been a bit more difficult. And for managerial success, we have to give him a 5 because he's won the Champions League. He's won everything. He's just doing what he needs to do. Absolutely smashing it. For his squad rating, I will have to give him a 5 as well because the squad is absolutely excellent, bro. We're seeing loads of young players. We're seeing loads of young players that he bought beforehand breaking their way into the first team. It looks very, very good, man. And finally, for club management, I have to give you a 3. Minus 294 transfer spend. There's no way he was getting any more than a 3. And the next save we have is Danim 2005, unemployed. Started a journeyman, unemployed save, but fell in love with my second team. Now I am in 2037, flipping heck. Quite a hard save, trying to be successful with absolutely no financial backing from the board. And here we are with Danim's save. We go straight into the job history and we can see he started off with Southend in the Vanarama National League, not bad. Got promoted in the second season, got promoted straight away from League 2 to League 1. Then left League 1, then joined Empoli. And we can see he has won the Serie A a few times and the Coppa Italia. Next season won the Super Coppa Italiana. Then won the Serie A, then won the Serie A again. And won the Serie A and Coppa Italia. But he hasn't won no European trophies. But he has done very well. It looks like he is dominating the Italian league. Obviously finishing first 4 out of 5 times in a row.
Not bad, not bad.
Straight over into his squad, and this formation does look very decent. I'm seeing a halfback with a DLP, we're going to drop into the space, so not too shabby. In terms of obviously the age profile, we're seeing a young goalkeeper here, 18 years old. Don't think that's his starting goalkeeper. Did he buy him? Yes, he bought him for 15 million from AZ. 21-year-old over here. And he did pick him up for 7 million from Brazil. And another 21-year-old who is currently his centre-back or his thing. Right back, he did pick him up for 99k. Very, very good business there. Then we look at another player, his advanced forward. He picked him up for 22.5 million from Santos. And we check another midfielder. He picked him up for 3.9 million. So I can see that he is buying loads of young players and trying to bring them into the first team eventually. 35 million spent on this guy right here. Another one, 23 years old. How much did he get him for? He picked him up for 38 million. Straight into the development center. Let's see what's happening in the under 20s. I'm seeing a few players over here straight away with 5-star potential. Look at this guy he picked up for 6.5 million. Looks pretty decent. Another one, a wonder kid, 18-year-old, is a goalkeeper. I think we've seen this goalkeeper, 15 million. Yes, we have. Then this 20-year-old midfielder looks very decent, if I'm being honest. Picked him up for 6 million. Then we got a 21-year-old striker who is currently on loan. He did pick him up for 4.3 million. Now we check the under 18s. In his under 18s, is there anyone there? He's got one 19-year-old centre-back who he has already sent out on loan. He did pick him up for 12.25 million. So he is buying young players. That looks good. Like I say, I love seeing people purchase young players.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
And we head straight over into his transfers, and we can see before even going into the transfers, he has picked up a few young players right here. We're seeing a 17-year-old. Looks very decent. Picked him up on a free transfer with a compensation, so not a bad one right there. Then we go straight into his transfer history, and I'm going to go back to when he actually joined the team. He joined in the 25-26 season, and we can see first season he joined, he spent 21 million, brought in 6.25. Season after that, brought in 64 million and spent half of 30 million. Next season, spent 30.5, brought in 51 million, looks good. Season after that, brought in 62 million, spent 46 million. Season after that, spent 41.5, brought in 66 million. Season after that, spent 62, brought in 57 million. The next season, he actually brought in 174 million, whilst only spending 39.5. Season after that, spent 78, brought in 61. The next season after that, he spent 174, but brought in up 354. And then the next season after that, spent 103 million and basically brought in double of 199 million. Then the following season, spent 200 million, brought in 79 million. And then this final season, he has brought in 121 and spent 74. So it looks very good from what I can see already. And in terms of Danim's transfer net spend, he has a positive net spend of 405 million.
How many blood clot this?
405 million. Aye, bro. Well done, bro. Finally, we move into the staff ratings, and we can see he's got the best staff in the league. He is dominating the league, so I do expect that. And here we are for Danim 2005's save ratings. First up, for save creativity, I'm going to give you a 3. I believe that you done well by starting an unemployed journeyman save. You started in Vanarama National, but then you went from League One straight to Serie A. I feel like you could have probably helped Southend get further up and then moved on. And for managerial success, I have to give you a 4. You're doing very, very well in Italy. You're literally dominating Italy. However, you haven't done that in Europe yet, so you're going to need to win some sort of Champions League to get a 5. And for the squad rating, I would have to give you a 5. I can see that you're bringing in young players. I can see some of the players in your team were obviously brought in earlier on. You've developed them, and now they are into your squad. So big up to you, man. And for the club management, it has to be a 5. 400 million transfer net spend positive. Well done, bro. I can see that you're bringing in loads of young players, like I said already, but you are selling them, making a profit on them, and actually helping your team. As you said, the board is not financially backing you. And for the final rating, Snowman Save has a rating of 18 out of 20. Danim 2005 has a rating of 17 out of 20. Calm Man Ronald has a rating of 15 out of 20.